कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो पङ्कजनाभाय नमो पङ्कजमालिने नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रि। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्दा श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्दा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभयश्च कृपासिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री श्री राधा दामोदर भगवान की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अपने अपने गुरुदेव की जय। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुदीनतारणं परमानंद माधवं कृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वर। Okay, so Hare Krishna to all the devotees of Central New Jersey and other devotees who have joined today. Evening for us, morning for you. Thank you so much. So today we will continue the part 4, the concluding part of our series which has been going on last couple of months on how to become a favorite devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. And we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12. So we've been discussing verses 13 onwards, and today we will be discussing the final 3 verses, that is text number 18, 19 and 20. So a little recap for all those who haven't attended the previous sessions. We're discussing about Bhaktastakam, different qualities of a devotee. So under this we discussed how Krishna says that his favorite devotee is the one who is anapeksha, suchir daksha, udasino gata vyatha. He doesn't have any expectation, he's suchi, he's clean, and he's non-envious, he's maitri, he's having compassion, friendliness, karuna, shama, he's equal in all situations, he's a yogi, he's a satatam, and santushta, he's satisfied. So Krishna goes on and on like this, and at the end of every verse he says, Yomad bhakta same priyaha. This kind of devotee I like so much, I like very much, is what Krishna says. So today we are discussing the final verses, and we will try to dive deep on what Krishna is trying to say in these final verses. So coming to today's verse number 18. Samasatro mitre cha tatha manapamanayo sitoshna sukha dukkheshu samasanga vivarjitaha tulya nindastutir mauni santushtha yena kenachit aniketa sthira matir bhakti mame priyo naraha. So Krishna says here, one who is equal to friends and enemies, one who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent, satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. What a beautiful, beautiful sloka. But when we just go through, people are like, oh my God, like, is it even possible? See the first line, Krishna says, Samar Shatrocha Mitrecha. My devotee who is very dear to me is equipoised or equal to both enemy and friend. Is it possible? It's difficult. It's difficult. But then those who are pure devotees of the Lord, they actually don't have any enemy or any friend. What's the definition of enemy or friend? Somebody who acts according to your like is your friend. Somebody who does not act according to your like is your enemy, right? He doesn't talk the way you want to. He doesn't behave the way you want to. He's your enemy. And somebody who behaves or talks or moves or does what you like is your friend. But then in the previous verses, Krishna said that his devotee doesn't have any like or dislike. So that means he doesn't have any enemy or friend. Okay. Well taken. Let's say Krishna's pure devotees don't have any enemy or friend. They are friendly to everybody. Let's say, accepted. But then there may be some people who consider us to be their enemy. Then what? Let's say we don't think anybody is our enemy or friend. Then what to do? So here he says equipoised. Even if somebody considers us to be their enemy, our behavior with them, whether he's our friend or enemy or whether they think us as a friend or enemy, should be equipoised. So how is that possible? You see in the Ramayana, this pastime comes of how when Hanumanji goes to meet Sita Mata, not meet actually, to escort her, because now the war is won. The war is won and he goes to escort Sita Mata officially. Vibhishan as a king orders, release Sita. So then he goes with the palanquin, all pomp and show, and he now wants to bring Sita Mata back to Lord Ram. So when he goes to escort her, Hanuman, out of affection or out of anger asks Sita Mata, all these Rakshasis, apart from Trijata, there were many other Rakshasis, they've all given you so much trouble. So now that you are free, now that we have won, I just want to chop their heads off or at least give them a few, bashing. And Sita Mata says, no. So Hanuman is like, why no? Why not? They gave you so much trouble. So then Sita Mata says, don't you know the story of the hunter and the bear? And Hanuman is like, what story of the hunter and the bear? And then Sita Mata tells, okay, Hanuman, sit down. Let me tell you this story. And then Sita Mata narrates this wonderful story. She says how there was once a hunter who went inside the forest to hunt animals, of course. And instead of he hunting an animal, a hungry lion started chasing the hunter inside the forest. So now this hunter doesn't know what to do. So he goes and takes shelter of a tree. Now in that tree, in the same very tree, there was a huge bear. So now the lion, because they can speak all languages, so lion is like speaking with the bear in their animal language. Why don't you push this hunter from the tree? And I'm so hungry, and this hunter is my enemy and he's your enemy too. He's enemy of all the animals in the forest. So I just eat him, have a full stomach, and I go from here. So the bear says, how can I do that? He has taken the shelter of my tree. I can't do that to him. So now this lion is very smart. He turns his head towards the hunter and he says, look, I'm hungry. Whether I eat you or I eat the bear, it's the same thing for me. Why not you push the bear? So hunter says, definitely, why not? And he just pushes the bear. And as the bear is, he's just falling down, somehow he, holds another branch and just climbs up very quickly. So now the lion turns towards the bear. See how, unjust, how unfair. You gave him shelter and now see, he was ready to push you. At least now get some brains, some sense. Push this hunter. I'll eat him and go away. And the bear says, I won't change my nature because of him. To betray, to push me, to be selfish is his nature. To not be selfish, to help others, to give shelter is my nature. So why will I change my nature for somebody else? And then Sita Mata says, whatever they have done to me, it's their nature. And this is my reciprocation. I don't want to change my nature for them. So I thought that was so beautiful lesson that Mother Sita gave us all, that sometimes, it does happen in our lives also. We may not want to react or respond in a certain way, but because somebody else says something or does something, we feel it's our right and it's just for us to give a tit for tat. He said this, that's why I said this. Otherwise, I'm a very nice person. But Sita Mata gave this lesson that you don't change your nature for others. So, sama shatrocha mitrecha. Whatever, whoever, whatever way they respond or react or behave, or even if they think they are your enemies, but you remain equipoise. Sama shatrocha mitrecha. See, there was one very rich man. He was very devoted. So he decided one day that I will do Annadanam. So he thought, let me do it in a Krishna conscious way. So as he was giving the packets of, rice and dal, and so he was asking every beggar, say Krishna's name, say Hare Krishna, and then I give you a packet. Say Hare Krishna, and then I give you a packet. So the beggar said Hare Krishna, and they're taking a packet. So there was this one beggar who was a little, stubborn. He said, I won't say. So this man got so upset, he took back the packet. He said, then I won't give you. And he started giving it to others. So that night, Lord comes in his dream and says, why did you do that? Why did you take the packet away? He said, my Lord, didn't you see? I just, I'm asking him to chant and he didn't chant. So I took it back. So Lord replies, with a smiling face. He said, all these years you didn't chant, but I still give you sunlight. I still give you water to drink. I still give you air to breathe. You're still walking on the earth and I'm still giving you everything, though you're not chanting my name. So then he realized his mistake. Now, why did I say this story is, sometimes we lay down certain principles. And then more than we acting on those principles, we expect others to act on those principles. And if they don't, then we justify our behavior towards them. Actually, I'm very nice, but he is like that. He doesn't follow the principles and he behaves like this. And his etiquette is not Vaishnava. So I'm just giving back, because this is a language he understands. This is how we... But here, the thing is, all those whatever principles that we learn or from Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita are for us to apply and not for us to prescribe to others. Why not you behave in this way, or these are the way you have to behave, right? See, we learn from the Bhagavad Gita, Yukta Ahara Viharasya. So now imagine a devotee comes to your house, you call them for prasadam, and then you just cook khichdi. Prabhu, don't mind, Bhagavad Gita, it says Yukta Ahara Viharasya, so I've made only khichdi, Prabhu, just have khichdi. No, you make a feast. You want to feed the devotees. But when it comes to you, then you can try and take a little khichdi. No, Yukta Ahara Viharasya, it's good for me. If I take a little, for me it's better, or I simply take khichdi. But we don't apply those principles for others, This is what it said in Gita, better you take khichdi, It doesn't work like that. So, Shama Shatrocha Mitracha. So we change our behavior. We change our behavior towards others, no matter what way they react or respond, but this is how our behavior should be. Sama Shatrocha Mitracha. Equipoised in all situations. Whether we consider or they consider us as enemy or friend, we are equal to all. We forget and we forgive. We forget and we forgive. Even if apparently there has been something which we are not very comfortable with, but we forgive. See, Krishna has forgiven us so many times. So why can't we forgive others? Has it not? For 84 lakh species, we've been moving around in this 84 lakh species, life after life, we're forgetting Krishna, right? But Krishna still forgives us and is ready to take us back. So we just follow the same thing. We also forgive. See, if we can become like a father, then we can develop this Sama Shatrocha Mitrecha, just like a loving father. Sometimes your daughter, she makes a nice birthday card, okay? Let's say, happy birthday, Dad, Now you don't see the card and start talking, the H is not proper, it should have been capital, birthday spelling mistake is there, I is missing, the yellow color is not looking good. You don't say that. No matter however the card is, you just say, wow, thank you so much, right? Because it's done out of love. So similarly, we have so many faults, but Krishna as a loving father, he just accepts us. That's all right. You're done with love, right? So he is forgiving us. And if we also develop that attitude for people around us, just like a father, oh, that's all right. Like I always say, give 99% for intention, 1% for presentation. So 1% for presentation or whatever, maybe they don't know how to express themselves, and you may have felt hurt about it, but give only 1% for presentation, give 99% for what is the intention behind that. And if we can keep that mentality, then we can forgive everybody who comes across us like a father. Oh, that's all right, he has tried, maybe that's not what he means, and then you can give benefit of doubt. Maybe that's not what he wanted to, maybe that's not what he meant, maybe this is what he wanted, like that. As devotees, we keep on giving benefit of doubt, and that way we can be Shama Shatrocha Mitracha. Because the problem is, if we don't forgive, and if we don't have equal feeling towards all, and if we keep some kind of a feeling in us, we are the one who's suffering actually, not others. We face a problem, is it not? Just like in the night, before we go to bed, we all brush our teeth. Why do we do that? Because we are worried that if there is some food article stuck in the teeth, it will decay the whole night, and then there will be some kind of a infection or some cavity, right? So we clean it up. So same thing is with our consciousness. If we have some kind of an ill feeling towards somebody and we don't clean it, then over the time there will be decay and there will be infection and there will be all kinds of problems. We need to clean it regularly. That is why, see Srila Prabhupada, he made this system that all the devotees before sleeping in the night, you just read Krishna book. Because over the day, so many kinds of thoughts must have passed in our mind, and by mistake, if some thought is stuck in our mind or heart, it will decay and corrupt and pollute our consciousness whole night. So that's why just before sleeping, if somebody is just reading a verse from Krishna book or something nice, and then go to sleep, so whole night the consciousness gets healed, right? Just like we have some scar, we have some fracture, something, some bandages everywhere. What do? You just put some dressing, some lotion, some cream. This is what, our heart is also full of so many scars. So many things happen in the whole day, right? So many scars, some bandages, some fractures. We need to heal it. And that healing is when we chant Hare Krishna. And then when we hear Hare Krishna, when we hear scriptures, we chant, we do Shravanam and Kirtanam, and then, it heals, and over the time it's clean and nice. So, Sama Shatrocha Mitrecha. We become like a father, forget and forgive, be equal to everybody. So, first of all, a devotee does not think anybody as his enemy, but if at all that person also thinks him to be enemy, a devotee is equipoised towards him. So, Shama Shatrocha Mitrecha. We'll go to the next one. Tatha Mana Apamanayo. See, if you just see how beautifully this sloka has been put. First, Krishna says, equal with people. Shatrocha Mitrecha. Equal with enemy and friend. And then he says, equal in situations. If you are insulted. Fame or infamy. If you are insulted or respected. Equal. And then he will say, equal in bodily situation, heat or cold. And then he will say equal in mindset, sukha or dukkha. So he'll go on explaining very, very systematically he takes us how one needs to be equal in situations, with people, in mind, with body, how one should remain sama. Very, very beautifully explained. So here he says, tatha mana apamanayo. Mana and apamana. In fame and infamy. Somebody respects you, you are equal. Somebody disrespects you, insults you also, you are equal. so lofty, right? Difficult, right? Very difficult. Imagine somebody insults you and you still have the same smile. Right? And somebody is glorifying you, still have the same smile. So, tatha mana apamanayo. How is it possible? How is it possible? Because, see, what we are talking, all these qualities are of pure devotees. Something which we all want to achieve one day. So it's something like Prabhupada said, you try for moon, then you get star. So this is our ideal, and we are on a journey. So how come it's so easy for devotees to be equal in all situations? Because that is what they have. That is what is there inside them. So they don't have to make any conscious choices. Like, shall I get angry on him or shall I not get angry? Shall I take offense or shall I forgive? There is no such options because that is what they have, right? Like, I like this example given by Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. I think it was from his book, The Beggar. I'm not able to recollect now which part of the book. But he gives this example of how if you squeeze an orange, only orange juice comes out, and if you squeeze a lemon, only lemon juice comes out, and even if you refrigerate the orange, only orange juice will come out. You can't say that after refrigeration maybe apple juice will come out, because that is what is there inside. So whatever is there inside comes out. So this is what happens with the devotees. That is what is there inside their heart. They want to respect everybody and they don't know how to disrespect others. See, in Shikshashtakam also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amanina manadena kirtanya sadahari. Amanina manadena. They are devoid of, a devotee who is devoid of any desire to get respect from others and is always ready to give respect to others. This is how an ideal devotee should be. So same thing Krishna is saying this in Gita. Tatha mana apamanayo. In mana or in apamana, a devotee is equipoised. So if somebody insults him or respects him, he feels the same. How is he able to do it? Because that is what is there inside him. See, I have a phone here, and if I have a pen here, then I have an option. I want to throw something on you. So shall I throw the pen or shall I throw the cell phone? Now if I have an option. But let's say I don't have a pen and I have simply this phone. I have no option. This is what I can throw on you. That is what happens with the pure devotees of the Lord. They don't have that feeling of hatred towards anybody. The only thing that they are filled up of and made up of is love. So in every situation, only what they can respond is love. So whether you insult them or you respect them, there is the same response. How do we apply this in our life, and how do we come to that stage? Is whenever somebody respects us or somebody disrespects us, we disown it. So how do we do that? So we can have this formula. Wherever we are going, whatever we are doing, we should always think that there's somebody else who is accompanying us. Who is that somebody else? Is our Purva Janma Karma. So the moment somebody shows us a lot of respect, so we immediately look at the Purva Janma Karma. Oh, it's because of maybe something nice I did in the Purva Janma, and that is why this person is so nice to me. Good, great, going. So looks like my good karma has risen, just like a sun rises and sets. And then the moment somebody insults you, you again look at, okay, some Purva Janma Karma. Something, looks like the good karmas have, set. And the bad karmas have now risen. Okay, this is what is happening. So you don't take it. You disown it, whether it's respect or you disrespect. So if you keep doing that exercise, then you don't feel bad about it. The ideal thing would be if somebody respects, you pass it on to Guru and Krishna. Somebody disrespects, then you take it upon you. Okay, so it's my mistake. Okay, it's humbling me. Okay, there are ways. But this is some different way of looking at it. Okay, just like waves, The waves in the ocean, they come, but they don't stay. They go away. Similarly, our bad or good karmas, they come, but they don't stay. They go and they come and they go. It keeps on revolving. So sometimes when people are too nice to us, don't get too excited about it because, okay, looks like some good karma have risen. And then people turn bad. All right, don't get too depressed about it. Looks like some wave of a bad karma has come and it's going to go back. So we can keep thinking like that, and that makes us equipoised in situations. Tatha mana apamanayu. practical day-to-day life, imagine somebody insults you. How do you feel? The general impulse is you want to react. You want to say something. But you have to control your impulse. In India, especially, the Indian ladies, they know this. When you go for shopping, sari shopping, you will ask the salesman to take out hundreds of saris. You say, Bhaiya, chara red color dikhao, nahi, acha nahi, green dikhao, blue dikhao, yellow dikhao. You go on, hundreds of saris, And nowadays the latest is you put all the saris and then you'll make a video call to some friend somewhere, and then she will see, and then she will comment, and then he will comment, she will comment. By the time the man is vexed up, the salesman, and after all 1 hour of drama, you will say, acha nahi laga, baad mein aayenge. We'll come later on. I didn't like any of the sari. And then they go to the next shop and they keep repeating the same thing with the next guy. But I tell you, this salesman, they are so patient. They won't swear words on you, and they won't say kya, at least especially if you go to high class shops, you go to high class shopping malls, even at the end of 1 hour, you don't buy anything, they still have the same smile. Thank you, madam, please do come back. More stock is going to come next month, do come back. Now, how are they able to put up that? Don't tell me that, they are reading Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter and they want to become Krishna's favorite devotee. No, I'm sure something inside their mind is happening, and this very inside they may be thinking, this lady, 1 hour she ate my head and now she doesn't want to buy anything. But what keeps the guy calm and peaceful? Because all the time you are looking at him, but he is looking at the owner. He is looking at the owner. He wants to make the owner happy. He knows that if I put up a nice smile and give good words, the owner is going to be happy with me. And anyway, this lady is not going to give my salary. The owner is going to give my salary. And that makes him peaceful. Same thing is in devotee's life. When somebody is, bad to you, the only thing that you can keep in your mind is, what I have to do with her? I want to make Krishna happy. And if I'm going to respond in this way, Krishna is going to be happy with me, and that is what I want. So I don't care what she thinks and what he thinks about me. If I respond in this way, Krishna is going to be happy, and he's my boss. And at the end of my life, he's the one who's going to give me salary, write down my accounts, what I've done when. So let me make the boss happy. So that way one can be equipoise in mana and apamana, right? These small little things, if we can be conscious of, makes our life so easy. Also, another level in which a devotee can think, when certain situations like this arise in our life, when we've been ridiculed, criticized, insulted for no fault of ours, and even if there is a fault of ours, we always feel there is no fault of ours. Everybody feels, I don't think I did any fault. I have any fault. I've been so nice and I'm so nice. That's why everybody thinks like that. So one thing that we can keep in our mind is that Lord is trying to make me humble. The Lord is trying to make me humble, right? So Lord has put me in this situation because he wants me to be humble, right? Otherwise, the kind of rascal that I am, I'll be like that only if I'm not put in this kind of situation, right? It's like spare the rod, spoil the child. So that's why maybe the Lord is trying to be a little tough to me, and that's why this person came and said something which, I haven't done anything wrong to him, and he just walked in and insulted me, or this is how he behaved. That's all right. It's Lord's arrangement. He wants to make me humble. So like that, in different levels, a devotee can think and give a pep talk to the mind, because the whole problem is mind only. All this tit for tat mentality will be risen in the mind only. It will encourage you. How can you keep quiet when that person comes and speaks to you like that? Just tell him, give him a piece of your mind. So the mind needs to be given a pep talk, and all this helps. So, okay, this is for my good. This is for my good that Krishna has, put me in this kind of a situation, right? So different, of course, these are the different modes of material nature also, which fuels our reactions, right? That's why one needs to, do proper bhajan, so that they're not controlled by the modes of material nature and they can try and transcend, right? What happened when Shamik Rishi was insulted? What happened with Shringi? He got all upset. And then what he did? He cursed Parikshit Maharaj. And then what happened when Durvasa was insulted, or rather I say he was not insulted, but he took it as an insult. And then he got angry on Ambarish Maharaj. Of course, Durvasa's thing is like in the mode of tamas. He was not insulted, but he took it as an insult. And then he wanted to make trouble for Ambarish, but Maharaj. But what happened at the end? He got himself into trouble. That was in the mode of ignorance. And then you see in the case of Shamik Rishi, Shringi, son of Shamik Rishi, his father was insulted. So he was in the mode of passion. What he did, he just cursed Parikshit Maharaj. And that caused problem for everybody because Parikshit Maharaj was such a righteous king and he got cursed to die in 7 days. And then what happened when Hanuman was insulted? In Lanka, his tail was, lit with fire. But what he did is he did a service for the Lord. By burning the Lanka, he did a service for Lord Ram. So you see that? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. But then what happened to Haridas Thakur? He was insulted in 22 marketplace. But what did he do? No reaction. And then what he got in return? The Lord took those beatings on his back, right? And in Srivas Angan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed those marks on his back. So when they were beating Haridas Thakur in 22 marketplace, Lord had hugged, Haridas Thakur, and all the beatings Lord was taking upon himself. So this is one way of thinking. That if we tolerate, let's say we are put into this situation, but if we tolerate, then Lord becomes very happy. Lord becomes very happy with us. So like that, we have to convince our mind in different levels. So, sama shatrocha mitrecha tatha mana apamanayo. Equipoise in mana and apamana. We'll go to the third point. Somebody needs to mute. Okay. And the third point, Sitoshna. Sita, Ushna. Sita means cold. Ushna means heat. Heat or hot. So, a devotee is equipoise. A devotee is equal in what? In heat and cold. That means in every situation, he is equipoise. There is this saying in English, by nature, man is a fool. When it is hot, he wants it cool. When it is cool, he wants it hot. Always wanting that which is not. Is it not? We do that, right? When it is hot summer, we'll have complaint. So hot, it is so hot nowadays, my God, And so, okay, madam, it's hot. So you want cool? No, you're not happy with the cool also. So cold, I was not able to go for Mangal Harati. Acha, you don't want cold. Okay, so should it rain? It's been raining whole day. I couldn't dry my clothes. Okay, so what do you want? If it's hot, you have a problem. If it's cold, you have a problem. If it's raining, you have a problem. If it's blooming, also you have a problem. Oh my God, so many butterflies and the whole garden you are always having a problem. Krishna is saying, I like a devotee who is sama, shito, ushna. He is equal, equipoised in all situations. Very, very beautiful. Now somebody may say, how do we tolerate? How do we tolerate cold? How do we tolerate heat? You do it by wisdom. You do it by wisdom. With wisdom, you can tolerate every situation. See, if you take it literally as hot and cold also, this is applicable. Or if you take it in a other way, like situations, sometimes situations are like that. So with wisdom, you can manage your mind, right? If it's cold, what do you do? Just wear sweater. If it's hot, what do you do? Take an ice cream. Right? Like that. So with wisdom, you can tolerate situations with wisdom. So what is that wisdom? See, the wisdom is, I'm temporary in this world and I have a serious business and I need to go back to Krishna. I don't want to waste my time and I want to focus on my bhajan. So if this wisdom is clear, if our goal is clear, then we are clear. Then all these things will not disturb us. right? If our goal is clear. But the problem is goal is not clear, right? If we are on a train journey and we know what's our destination, I want to get down at Howrah, then everything is very clear and it will fall in place. Now, whatever the small inconveniences that I face in the train journey doesn't matter, because I know this is not my destination. Destination is Howrah. All these small problems will happen. Sometimes fan is not working, co-passengers are a problem, window is not opening, cabin is not clean. So many things will happen in a train journey, but you are okay, because you know that's okay. My destination is I have to get down to Howrah, take a car to Mayapur. That's it, right? So Sitoshna, how you can do that? By wisdom. When we are clear about our goal, that I have to focus on my bhajan and I don't have time to waste. And if one is clear, then all this becomes very gauna, becomes smaller. Next, Sukha Dukkheshu. This is again a big... How to be equipoised in Sukha and Dukkha? Oh my God. Okay, I'm happy when everything is favorable in my life. How can you expect that I should be happy when things are not favorable in my life? It's such a big thing, right? But then, if you want to be beloved of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then yes, the standard is very high. You're not trying to become a beloved of some Tom, Dick and Harry, somebody. You want to become beloved. Yo me bhakta same priyaha. You want to become priya of Krishna, then definitely the standard is too high. And this is what he wants. He's just put it clearly. He should be, tatha manapamana yosi toshna sukha dukkheshu. Sangha, vivarjita, all this he has said that. So yeah, we can set it up and we can work in that direction. So sama, sukha, dukkheshu. In sukha and dukkha. How can somebody be equal in sukha and dukkha? How can somebody be equal in sukha and dukkha? No? If you love Krishna, then you will respect in whatever situation Krishna has put you into, because you love him. If you love Krishna, I'll repeat, then you will respect in whatever situation Krishna has put you into. Whatever arrangement Krishna has made for you, you will respect it, because you love him. Because you love him, you will see Krishna's hand in every situation that happens in your life. What is that? Yo mam pashyati sarvatra, sarvatra mai pashyati. Those who are devotee of the Lord, they see Lord in everything, in everywhere. And they see Lord's hand behind everything that happens in their life. That is why they are able to remain sama in sukha and dukkha. I like this one very beautiful point that His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj made it in one of his class. He said, Krishna knows exactly what it takes to bring you closer to him. And I like it so much. I'm in love with this one sentence. Krishna knows exactly what it takes to bring you closer to him. He knows what treatment to give to you. He's a pakka doctor. He knows. So doctors, for some people they'll say take only curd. That's good for you. You have a constipation. It's good for you if you take curd. And to some other patient, doctor will say, take anything but not curd, because you have cold. Curd is not good for you. So doctor knows whom to prescribe what. Krishna knows what it takes to make you closer to him, because more than you, he is interested that you should get closer to him. So he's working on it very seriously. So all the situations that he has put in your life is just to bring you closer to him. So suppose if Krishna gives today a raise in your salary, he knows you need this to become closer to him. Today if he kicks you out from your job, he knows that this is required, otherwise you are going away from Krishna consciousness. Today if he gives you a spouse who is beautiful devotee, he knows you require this, otherwise you'll get, you'll drift away from Krishna consciousness. So suppose he gives you a spouse who is not Krishna conscious, you require that because Krishna knows that will make you more humble. So like that, he just knows what you require to come closer to him. And if that faith we have on Krishna, right? What is that? Bhoktaram Yajnatavasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhrida. What is Krishna? Suhrida, he's a well-wisher. He's our well-wisher. And if we are 100% convinced that Krishna is my well-wisher, then no matter what situation comes in our life, we know Krishna is my well-wisher and he has put this situation in my life because he wants to help me, because he loves me. This one should be convinced. Right? So sometimes apparently it's situations that may at the outset feel like, what is this happening in my life? But maybe Krishna has a bigger plan. Krishna has a bigger plan. Many years ago, I had read one very interesting book by P.V.R.K. Prasad. It's called Naham Karta, Hari Karta. I was very curious to know more about Balaji. And this P.V.R.K. Prasad, he was the executive officer of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, TTD, from 1978 to 82. And he has written this very interesting book, When I Saw Lord Balaji. So a couple of years ago, on one of my travels, I got a copy of this book and I was reading the very beautiful pastimes that he was narrating, what he experienced in his life. And I'll tell you this one pastime which I still remember because that had an impression in my mind. It was in the winter of 1980. Now, these are all real life stories. I mean, of course, the man is no more. He died, but these are all chronicled, documented things. So, one winter night in 1980, this man, because he's an executive officer of TTD and he has access to all these sevas, right? Whatever seva he want to participate. So he had this habit of going for this seva on every Friday morning, 4:30 a.m., Abhishek seva of the Lord. So this 4:30, 4 a.m. seva was, he has to accompany the Lord in the procession and then the Abhishekam happens. So what was his routine is, every Thursday night, from his camp office in Tirupati, he used to go uphill to Tirumala, stay there in the guest house, next day morning attend the seva, and then do his regular office works. That particular winter night, he was in his office. Usually by evening 3:30, 4 o'clock in the evening, he will leave to go up the hill. Now, those of you who have been to Tirupati, this is Tirupati is down and Tirumala is uphill where Lord Balaji's temple is. Somehow that day he got very busy with his office work and he couldn't go. So his driver came and reminded, "Sir, it's already 5 p.m. so shall we leave?" He said, "No, just wait. I just finished few phone calls and then we will leave." At 6 o'clock again his wife came and reminded, "Hey, what happened to you? You're supposed to go." He said, "Yeah, I'm just leaving. A couple of minutes more." He went on and on up to 9:30 in the night. Then his wife peeped in and said, "In that case, just stay back home. Tomorrow morning you go at 3 o'clock. I'll also come with you and then we both will attend the Abhishek Seva." He said, No, I'm going. I need to go. I'll just another phone call and I'm done. Finally at night 10:30, which is so unlikely. He never does that. Always, he's like afternoon 3 o'clock, he'll make a move from there. But it was 10:30 in the night and he said, "Driver, all right, let's go." He took the last file, whatever he wanted to take. But otherwise, usually what he does is he goes in the afternoon, does all the inspections, stays in the guest house. Next day morning, he attends the seva. So now in the night, around 10:30, 11, he's in his ambassador car. He reaches the Alipuri toll, where you have to, and then he slides his window. And then the security officer there, they're reporting to him, "Sir, today is so much crowd uphill. So many pilgrims have come." Now, so much crowd means, basically in those days, means it will take 8 hours for darshan of Balaji. So this man, he's executive officer. So he noted, "Oh, really? A lot of crowd? Acha, okay." And then he started driving. Now that's a ghat road, uphill. Now those days, because of security reasons, they were closing the ghat road by midnight. By evening, late evening, they used to close it. And again, next day morning, they'll open at 4 o'clock. In the night time, nobody goes up because of course, wild animals and security reasons and all other. And there was some burglary, so many things were happening. So now his was the only car because he's the executive officer. So now as he's going up the ghat road, suddenly a man comes, frantically waving and, stop the car. And he just stops the car. What happened? And then he just sees, there is another car parked there. Looks like it's broke down. And this man is like, "Can you give me a lift? My car is broke down." And he says, even before he wants to reply, say yes or no, he sees that this man is accompanied by a newly married bride and bridegroom, because they were still in Madhupakam. The clothes which are dyed with turmeric. So he could understand, oh, they've just got married. So there is a couple, and this man and his wife and the driver. So now he's thought, okay, looks like they just married. So he said, all right, fine, you come. So now there were 5 people. Somehow they got adjusted into one car, and then the car started moving. Now this man, he doesn't know that he's sitting in the car of the executive officer of TTD. He's just thinking he may be some normal pilgrim. So he's just started narrating his story. I'm a hotelier from Mysore, and my relatives and all were telling me, don't go, first finish up all the marriage rituals, then go for darshan. But our family deity is Balaji, Tirumala Srinivas. We love him so much. I would feel incomplete if Lord's blessing is not there. So as soon as my children get married, so I fought with all my relatives. We started from Mysore in the morning. 10 o'clock the marriage happened. 11 o'clock without performing the pre-marriage, after marriage some rituals will be there. Without performing all that, I took the bride and bridegroom right from the wedding altar, took a car, and we came because we wanted to have the darshan of Balaji. And next day morning we will leave and finish the other, other rituals. And all my relatives were like, don't go, finish up the rituals and go. Why so much hurry? But I'm so attached to the Lord. But just see how the Lord has treated me. See how he has behaved. Just see how he has reciprocated with his devotee. Is this fair? What he did to me in the middle of the night? I'm stranded here with a broken car. What will I do now? I will never ever see his face again. Whatever, this time I have come, I have promised I'll take his darshan, but I'll never come back to the Tirumala hills anymore, because he's not fair with his devotees. He doesn't take care of his devotees in the middle of the jungle. It's good. Somehow, you just good man, you just came. Otherwise, what would have happened? He was going on, and now the TTD executive officer, he doesn't say anything. And then finally they reach. By the time they reach, it is 11:30. Within another half an hour, the temple will close. 12 o'clock the temple closes. Now, because he was the TTD executive officer, he immediately told his people, these people are special, take them for VVIP darshan, give them accommodation, give them prasadam, tow their car, whatever was broken down, get it repaired. Tomorrow early morning they'll have to leave because they have some pre-marriage rituals. So immediately all the officers got into action, they got proper darshan, and they were sent back. After a couple of days, this man, who apparently came to know that this guy was the TTD executive officer, he wrote a letter to him, and in the letter he said that I'm so sorry. The way I lost all my discretion, I lost all my patience, and just see the way I spoke about my Lord. Whereas afterwards I realized that Lord was so kind. And you know why? Because even if the car was not broken down, if the car was well and they would have reached Tirumala, still darshan was not possible because that day there was a lot of traffic. Lot of crowd. It would have taken him 8 hours in the line to get darshan. So now darshan was not possible. Without darshan, what would have happened? How he would have gone back? All his relatives would have criticized him, who were sitting there waiting for the pre-marriage programs and all. So that is why Lord orchestrated all this, that his car gets broke down, and then this executive officer will take him, get a VIP darshan, and send him back. So he said, afterwards all these things fall in place. Oh, this is how the Lord made arrangement for me. And I was, I just swear words on my Lord, but my Lord was all the while thinking of how to help me. So he wrote a very beautiful letter to this executive officer. So why I said this story is, this is how, like Maharaj said, Krishna knows exactly what it takes to bring us closer to him. He knows exactly. He has the map ready. Only thing is, we are too much in hurry. Why this happened? Why that happened? Why this happened? Why not this happened like this? Because we think we are more intelligent than Krishna. Krishna is more intelligent. He has his whole plan. So I thought that was so beautiful. See, one other point from this Sukha Dukheshu is, one should bloom where you are planted. Bloom where you are planted. Let's say if a lotus starts complaining how come I am put in the dirty water? I'm not going to bloom here. I want clear water. Can you get me clear water? Then I'll bloom. No. Wherever the lotus is put, it blooms. In the dirty water also the lotus blooms. So that is what a devotee's life should be. Bloom where you are planted. That means serve Krishna from where you are, in whatever situation you are. Don't complain. No, if I was in that situation, I think I would have do better service. If I was in Mataji's place, so I'm having some time, then I would have do. If I was in her place, I would have better financial situation. I think I could have do better. If I was in her place, no, you don't have to exchange places with anybody. Bloom where you are planted, where you are. From that place, try to serve Krishna. Bloom means serve sincerely from wherever you are, in whatever situation Krishna has put you in. If you respect Krishna, then you respect Krishna's arrangement. You don't complain. You don't ask why this and why not this, right? See, in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 1, activities of Priyavrata Maharaj, very beautiful incident, how Priyavrata Maharaj, he doesn't want to become a householder because Narad Muni has been guiding him. But his father Swayambhu Manu wants he should become a householder. So now this thing is happening, and in between Brahma comes, and then Brahma starts giving instruction. So there is this beautiful verses where Brahma is giving him instruction. So in the verse number 15, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions very beautiful point. He says, we all have to pass through Sukha and Dukkha, all these 84 lakh species. So because this is all been, so I'm paraphrasing it, you can read that purport, it's very interesting. I'm paraphrasing it. So he says, what basically Prabhupada says is that whatever situation you are put into, you should accept it because that is what has been engineered by the Lord for you. Just like a blind man follows a person with eyes, we should follow the direction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means he means to say, don't complain. Everybody will have to be passing through Sukha and Dukkha. Can't do anything about it. In all the 84 lakh species, this is applicable. So simply follow the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Simply have faith, whatever situation Krishna has put you into. And I thought that was so very beautiful. Brahma was trying to convince Priyavrata Maharaj in this context, And I thought that was so beautiful. I remember this one very inspiring episode of this tennis player. In the 1993, there was this very famous tennis player called Arthur Ashe. I just hope I'm pronouncing his name properly, Arthur Ashe or Arthur Ashe. And he got HIV. Now, he was a very famous tennis player. Now, just like, what we have, like, corona is like a nightmare. Those days, they didn't have a cure for HIV. So, he was such a successful player, Wimbledon cup holder. So, the press people were asking him, what do you feel? Like in interviews, sir, what do you feel? What do you have to say about the situation that you have been put into? And he gave such a wonderful reply. So, he said, just listen to his answer, what he says. He says, in this world, there are thousands and lakhs and crores of people who buy a tennis racket and buy a ball. But how many of them actually play? Not sure. We also buy. So many people will have in their house on January 1st week, they will buy. I'll go for tennis every day. On February, that it will be somewhere upstairs in the go down in the attic. So thousands and crores of people, they buy the bat and the ball. Out of that, maybe few hundred, they actually play. Out of that few hundreds or something, some people will get selected for, let's say, district level. Out of them, some few will get selected for national level. Out of that, very few people may get selected for, Wimbledons. And out of that, rarely somebody will be holding the cup of Wimbledon. So when I was holding the cup of Wimbledon, I never asked the Lord, why me? Out of so many people, why me? So at that time when I didn't ask the Lord, why me? Now that I got HIV, how can I ask the Lord, why me? Why not, these people, why me? So I thought that was such a beautiful reply. So as a devotee, we don't ask Krishna, why me? What we ask Krishna is, in this given situation, how can I serve you? Please guide me. This is my situation that I've been put into. in this given situation, how should I serve you, my Lord? That should be the question asked by a devotee. So, bloom where you are planted. Whatever situation that you are in, you try and serve Krishna sincerely. So, a devotee of Krishna is sama sukha dukkha. He's equipoised in every situation because he thinks that everything is orchestrated in my life by Krishna. Krishna is my well-wisher, and because I love Krishna, I respect whatever situation Krishna has put me into. We'll go to the next one. Sangha Vivarjita. Sangha Vivarjita means a devotee does not associate himself with anything that is contaminating. That's what I read in the translation, or rather you can say doesn't associate himself with any titles, or doesn't associate himself with three modes of material nature, or doesn't associate himself with bodily identification. It's something like a devotee doesn't think, I'm Bengali, she is Gujarati, I'm women, she is men, I'm Indian, she's American. This the devotee doesn't think. He has only one identification. I'm part and parcel of Krishna. This is what I can tell you a beautiful story here, but I don't want to go. It's okay. Did I speak for 1 hour? Okay, so then I'll just there's just 2 more points. So I think you must have heard this story, a very popular one. But anyway, however, I'll repeat it here. It so happened once, Janak Maharaj. Okay, now, don't make conclusions. Just completely hear. Otherwise, you'll start thinking, what is Mataji talking about? Let me complete. So, Janak Maharaj, he's sitting in his courtroom, and Ashtavakra is giving him some instructions. Ashtavakra is Janak Maharaj, one of the gurus. So as this satsang is going on, the soldiers come and inform Janak Maharaj, oh Maharaj, the enemies have attacked us. So Janak Maharaj says, oh, where is my armor? Come on, get my sword, get my bow and arrow. And then he starts and, goes for attacking the enemies. And then he gets defeated. So now because he gets defeated, then the enemies say, oh, you are defeated, but you have been a good king. I don't want to keep you as a slave. I just banish you from your kingdom. So then Janak Maharaj is walking from one place to another, and he's famished and fatigued and tired and hungry. And finally there's, he reaches one place where some Annadanam is going on, and they've been distributing some free food. So he just stands in line, and then finally at the end of the line, when his turn comes, he's with his bowl and there's only some soup left, and they just pour some soup, and as he's just about to drink the soup, and a bird comes flying down and just pushes the bowl of the soup, and it just it gets spilled off, and then now he's all hungry and rolling in the dust and crying out, alas, alas, what misfortune has fallen upon me. And as he's doing that, his eyes open. Oh, this was all a dream. He was in his bed in the royal palace, and the soldiers come running. Oh, king, you have been shouting at the top of your voice. What happened? Can we help you? And he's like, what is the reality? I mean, was that the truth, what I saw? Or is this the truth now that I am here in the royal bed? Now the soldiers don't know what to reply. They don't know what is he asking. So he immediately runs to his queen and he asks, what is the truth? Like, was that the truth or is this the truth? The queen is like, what is he asking? I can't understand. And now he keeps asking this question to everybody he meets. And finally now it's a talk of the town. All the citizens are like, what is this? All the time he's asking, was that the truth or is this the truth? And then finally his guru, Ashtavakra, he comes and then he asks his guru, Maharaj, I don't know what to say. Is this the truth or was that the truth? And then his guru asked him a couple of questions. He said, what you saw, where you were hungry and famished and rolling in the mud, at that place, did you see your queen and the royal opulences and all the money and the wealth? Did you see? He said, no, that was not there. And he says, now that you are surrounded by your queen and all the money, are you able to see all those things, what you saw there? He said, no, now that is not there. So that means his guru says, there you could not see this. Here you could not see that. But what you experience there, the hunger, the pain, are you able to, you able to remember that? He said, yeah, that pain which I experienced. And now this opulence and all the royalty, are you able to experience it? He said, yes. And then his guru says, well, that was temporary. Even this is temporary. What is real is the experience that you had. The experience that you had. So, as devotees, we are put into this temporary situations and our soul starts relating to it, the experience is real, but the situation is temporary. Like Prabhupada said, the Mayavadis, they say the world is false. But Vaishnavas, we say it's not false, it's real, but it's temporary. Right? So here, Krishna is saying, Sangha Vivarjita. So a devotee doesn't relate himself to the body. Okay, he understands that he is a soul. He understands that, all these titles or whatever it is to his body, not to him. I just hope I have not confused you by the story, but I'm just trying to make a point. I just hope it helps. So, Sangha Vivarjita, he's free from all association that contaminates him. Next point, Tulya Ninda. Tulya Ninda Stuti. Very, very beautiful thing. Tulya means saman, Ninda and Stuti. That means a devotee is equipoised even when he is criticized, even when he is glorified. In both the situation, he is equal. Now, this is also something so special. How is that possible, right? Somebody glorifies you, you're okay. But if somebody is criticizing you, somewhere it may hurt, somewhere, right? So, how to get over that? So, Maharaja Rahaguna gets this instruction, something related to this by Jadabharat. If you read that chapter, Jadabharat makes a very beautiful point to Maharaj Rahaguna. He says, in this world, all the people whom we are connecting to or associating, they are all haunted by ghost. And if somebody is haunted by ghost, whatever they speak, will you take it seriously? No. Will you take it seriously? No. Like, let's say if somebody is drunk, okay, do you take their statement seriously? You will think, Jane do, leave it, he's not in a proper state of mind, right? Let's say, okay, let me give you an example of a small child. Sometimes the child is having high fever. In the fever, he will say so many things. Oh, my homework is not done. I want this chocolate. And you are like, okay, come on. You know what he's speaking is just, he's in high fever, right? So same thing. If somebody is a drunkard, he makes a statement, even the court of law, they don't accept because they know he's not in the proper state of mind. So that's what Maharaj Rahaguna was instructed by Jadabharat. He said, don't mind what the people of this world say. They're all taken over by ghost. Why did he say that? Because almost all the time, everybody is under the influence of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And they're talking, behaving, walking, speaking, everything under the influence of the modes of material nature. So don't take them seriously. That's what he means to say. That means if somebody is critical, don't take it seriously. If a drunkard says something, you take it seriously, you don't take it seriously. Similarly, if somebody says something and it's hurting you, you just think in your mind, it's okay. At present, the mode of passion is this Prabhu has been taken over by mode of passion, mode of tamas. So that is why he's speaking like that. But otherwise, he's a very nice devotee. He doesn't mean what he says. It's just that he's, at this moment, that's very high. That is overtaking him. So like that, if we keep thinking in our mind all the time, then it's possible that even if somebody is critical or somebody is nice, don't take it very seriously. Don't take it very seriously. That's why I like this line, which I put it on my screensaver. Matter does not matter. Matter does not matter. It does not matter. This material world, whatever is happening, does not matter. It's not important. It's temporary. It's going to pass. So why give so much importance, right? Matter does not matter, right? So Tulya Ninda Stuti. In every situation, somebody is glorified or somebody is criticized. Parasar Bhatta, he was in the Ramanuja Sampradaya. He was the, the very, very popular, and he was the one who took over after Ramanujacharya, as the leader of the Sri Sampradaya. So one day it so happened, there was one man who came to visit Parasar Bhatta. And this stranger, this man, he started criticizing Parasar Bhatta, speaking filth, just speaking whatever he wants to. He went on and on and on and criticizing, and you are like this and you are like this and this is what you did and this is what you did. And all the disciples are in rage and said, Guru Maharaj, shall we just throw him out of the ashram? And he's like, Yeah. And he keeps hearing, and he keeps hearing, and he keeps hearing. And at the end, he asks that, go and get some garland, the prashadi garland. So they get the prashadi garland. And he asks him, are you done? And he says, yeah. And then he puts the prashadi garland on him. And then the man walks away. Now all his disciples are asking, what is this? He was criticizing you. And then Parasar Bhatta makes a very beautiful point. He said, you know why we are stuck in this material world? So the disciples are thinking. So he said, because of our false ego. And this gentleman here was trying his best to humble me and remove my false ego. He's my guru. Just see how much hard work he was doing just to remove my false ego so that I become humble and I don't have to take birth in this material world again and again. So he's so kind to me. And I thought that was so wonderful. So next time if some devotee is criticizing you, you just think about this. Oh, he's being so kind to me. He's trying to remove my false ego. He's trying to help me so that I become humble and I don't come back to this world, take birth again and again. And I thought that was a very beautiful point. So Tulya Ninda, when somebody is criticizing you, even when somebody is glorifying you also, that is also very important. Sometimes to be equipoised when somebody is criticizing is more easier than to be equipoised when somebody is glorifying you, because you'll feel so happy. Wow, people like me so much. Oh, I got so much appreciation. Everybody was saying, Mataji, the dal was so nice today. It was so nice. So it will be so difficult to be equipoised at that time, right? But a devotee is equipoised in every situation. When the praise comes, you should understand that it's not going to last forever. See, one way is you take the praise and you offer it to Guru and Krishna, and the other thing is be conscious that it's not going to last forever, so don't get too overexcited about it. Yeah? See, I just came back from this Ahobilam trip. And now, I'm under that anesthesia of Narsingadev. After visiting all Navanarsimha Kshetra and seeing all these Narsimhadev deities, Jwala Narsimha and Pavana Narsimha, Bhargava Narsimha, Chhatravata Narsimha, and it's Karanji Narsimha. It's all in my mind. So when I came back to Vizag, last 3 days, myself and Jyoti and all, we've been visiting Simhachalam. So we climbing the hill actually. We're climbing the hill and not going by car. Last 3 days we are doing it. Now, all of you are from Vizag. The last part of the hill when we are climbing, on the left side, you can see those big stones. And on the stone, you will see with the chalk piece, Ramu loves Sita. Have you seen that? Have you seen? Everywhere something will be written, Even from here when I go to the school, Teneti Park, all that stones, Ramu loves Sita, it will be written, Now, 3 days back, I'm sharp. It caught my attention, okay? So 3 days back, we were just climbing the hill and it caught my attention. It was quite big, with a love shape and a heart and the arrow, Ramu loves Sita. Yesterday when we went, that Sita is not there. Ramu loves Gita now. Yeah. And I was amazed, because 3 days ago, Ramu was loving Sita. Now he loves Gita, And I was like, oh my God, this world is like that. Don't take things very seriously, It'll keep changing. So today somebody glorifies you and, don't get overexcited about it, Oh my God, you speak so amazing. You sing, just after a couple of days, nobody's going to bother about you. If you're conscious, if you're conscious of that, then you will be, then you will not be disappointed, because people are not going to praise you all the time. And it's not that everybody is going to like you. There'll be always somebody who doesn't like you, right? So that is why don't try to get like and dislike from the people of this world. Just try to get it from Krishna. Because people of this world, they're very fickle-minded. Today they love you, tomorrow they say they'll hate you. What to do? You see what happens? See now what is happening, the latest trend, Facebook, what people want, like. I want like, how many likes, how many views, how many views. That's making us crazy. How many views the video came, how many views the Facebook. But people are crazy. Today they like, tomorrow they may not like. So why to try to even get their like? It's not about how many likes, it's about who likes. Who likes? It's very important. Why not we try and get that like from Guru and Krishna? Because that's going to, last. That like is going to last, So we need to work on that, So Tulya Ninda, equal in defamation and glorification. And the one way of looking at it is when somebody criticizes you, one practical way of thinking is you think in your mind that, oh, my account is getting cleared. I must have done something to this devotee, and now he's just giving back to me. So great, I'm done with my debt. Otherwise, when you take loan, what happens? The interest keep on increasing. The quicker you give the loan back, the better it is for you. So you should be happy. When somebody is critical, you should be happy. I'm done. Account's getting cleared. Account is getting cleared. Right? I can go on and on with this, but then I want to complete it. I don't want to have a part 5 of this. I want to complete all these 36 qualities today, somehow or the other. Okay, so Tulya Ninda. Okay. So we have to be equipoised, whether you are criticized or whether you are glorified. So don't worry so much. Don't take it so seriously what people say. Like in Hindi they say, na, sabse bada rog kya kahenge log. That's our worry all the time. What will people say? What will people say? When we were young, we used to hear this bhajans of Anup Jalota, And one of my favorite bhajan was this, He used to sing this very famous song. बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे. A devotee is telling Krishna, बनवारी ले जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम. What do I have with these people around? They will praise me today, criticize me tomorrow. I want to depend on my relation with you, my Lord, with Krishna. My relation with you is more important. Okay, coming to the next quality, Mauni. A devotee is silent. Oh, this we have spoken in a number of occasions. Prabhupada says a devotee is silent. Silent means it's not that he puts a badge like, nowadays you have in this so many yoga ashrams, they'll make you do this workshop. I am in silence. They'll put the badge and they'll not talk. There's no noise. They don't talk. But there's so much noise inside their mind. So much noise happening. So what's the point of that outside silence? There's so much noise inside your mind. But Prabhupada says, devotee is silent means he speaks only about Krishna. And that's the real silence. He doesn't speak anything that is not connected to Krishna. So yes, Krishna says, I like that kind of a devotee who is Mauni. That means he speaks only about Krishna. So you're giving me background music, huh? What is meant by silence? So a devotee is silent, not artificially silent, but he speaks only about Krishna. And why is a devotee able to remain silent? Why doesn't he have that impulse of talk? See, why do people talk and gossip? Because they get some pleasure, they derive some pleasure. Why do we talk to others? Because when we talk or we gossip, we derive certain pleasure. But a devotee is deriving pleasure already from his connection with Krishna. So he is not seeking pleasure outside. That is why he is a Mauni. See, if your wife cooks rasagullas, very nice rasagullas, soft and sweet and just wonderful, will you go to the Indian sweet shop downtown to buy rasagullas? You will say, no, Mataji, I may buy something else, but I'll not buy rasgulla because, already my wife makes them so much better. So when she's making at home, you don't want to buy outside. That's how it is. You're getting so much pleasure by chanting and hearing and, that you don't need, to talk or gossip to derive any pleasure anymore. So those who are devotees of the Lord, they are Mauni, silent. They speak nothing but only that which is connected to Krishna. Bodhayanti parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam. What is that? Ramanticha. So the devotee, when he meets other devotee also, what he does? Paraspar, they talk about Krishna. Next, Santushta. I won't elaborate on this because this is repeated quality. Krishna spoke about it previously also. He said the devotee is satisfied. A devotee is satisfied. He doesn't have any expectation. He is Santushta. And then comes a point, Aniketa. Oh my God, Aniketa means one who has no residence. Now somebody will think, oh, then I can never be Krishna's favorite devotee because I have an apartment in New Jersey. Oh, I have an apartment, but Krishna says he likes only one who is Aniketa. So how will I become Krishna's favorite devotee? Now, no, what he means here is those who are devotee of Krishna, they don't have small house. For them, the whole world is a house. Vasudeva Kutumbam. That is Aniketa. Even if he owns a house, he doesn't have that karta bhav. He thinks this is Krishna's house and now under my care. As of now, under my care. I am living here. Krishna is giving me shelter. So no harm. After seeing this point, devotees should not start getting worried. If I want to become Krishna's favorite devotee, but I have a Niketan, I have a house, and Krishna is saying, become Aniketa. The whole point is, let the boat stay in water. Make sure the water does not stay in the boat. Did you get my point? Let the boat stay in the water, but don't allow water to stay in the boat. That means, yes, you can own a house, you can live inside a house, but don't allow the house to live inside your heart. Heart is for Krishna. You can earn money, keep it in your pocket, don't keep it in your heart. You can own a house, but stay inside the house, but don't allow the house to stay inside you. That means not 24 hours you are conscious. My house, Yeah, we'll put a board. What is that? Sharma's residence, Gupta's residence. We have that on the, not only house. I don't know about the mentality of the devotees out there, but in India, not only on the house you make a name plate, but even on the kitchen spoons also, spoons and vessels. I don't know if they do it anymore, but on the glasses and everywhere, Gupta, Sharma, Verma, they want to put it, So Aniketa means, yes, you can own a house, but you think it's Krishna's house, and you don't allow it to take a place in your heart. In your heart, it's only for Krishna. And the feeling is, I'm temporary here, just like, we went to Ahobilam, right? And we were staying in a guest house. So after 2 days, we vacated the guest house. So did we cry? Did the receptionist cry? Oh my God! I never printed cards and informed everybody, look, I'm vacating the guest house, I'm vacating the guest house. Neither I cried, neither the receptionist cried. We just thought it was normal. We came there and we stayed for 2 days and we were supposed to make a move. And that's what a devotee has, that mentality. Okay, I'm here, but I'm temporary and I'll have to make a move. So that is what it means by Aniketa. Last 20 years that I'm here in ISKCON Vizag, and I stay in this guest house, a couple of rooms that I have in the guest house. Now, all the doors have room numbers, 212, 213, and our guest room where I stay, that has a room number 213. So it has like a big keychain, So many times Jyoti will be telling me that, it's such a big keychain, it's difficult to hold it, better to remove and put some small keychain. But I keep thinking in my mind, better to keep that number 213 and remind myself that I'm staying in the guest house, not my house. I'm just staying here. Okay, I don't know, as long as I'm serving. It just keeps you in the right consciousness, This is not your house. You're not here to permanently stay. You're serving here, You can be in that consciousness. So we think our house as a guest house. Okay, we come to the last point, Sthiramati. Sthiramati. Sthira means fixed. Mati means determination. A devotee has fixed determination. Fixed determination in what? In Krishna consciousness. So his Mati, Rati, Gati, everything is on Krishna. Rati is attachment. Mati is his mind. Gati is his goal. So his attachment, his goal, his mind, everything is on Krishna. He's fixed. So it's not that looks like Krishna is not fulfilling my wish, so maybe I can just go and ask it to Shiva. Maybe Shiva can help me, or maybe Ganesh can help me, or maybe this can help me. It's not like that. They are fixed in serving Krishna. They're fixed in serving Krishna. So it's not like they don't make agreements or contracts with Krishna. If you don't fulfill, then I always have an option, okay? If you're not fulfilling my desire, within the 6 months, I always have an option. I'll switch to some demigods. They don't do that. A devotee is having sthira mati. And the last point, bhaktiman. Bhaktiman means engaged in devotion. So with this, we come to the end of this verse 18 and 19, where Krishna is saying that my beloved devotee is equal to friends and enemies, equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy. He's always free from contaminating association. He's mauni, silent, satisfied with everything, doesn't care for any residence. He's fixed in knowledge, and he's engaged in devotional service, and such a person is very dear to me. Now coming to the last verse, ye tu dharmamritam idam yathoktam paryupasate shraddha dhanamat parama bhaktaste tiva me priyah. So Krishna says, those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very, very dear to me. That's it. With this, Krishna ends this chapter. He says, those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service. So those who follow this path of devotional service, they completely engage in my service. For them, I am the supreme. And then one condition, with faith. With faith. And that kind of devotees, they are very, very dear to me. So with this, we come to the end of all the 36 qualities which Krishna wants to see in his favorite devotee. So if we are on our way to try and get at least a trace of these qualities, then someday we can become Krishna's favorite devotee. So with this, we pray to Shri Shri Radha Damodar, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Shri Gaura-Nitai, Srila Prabhupada, and all the Acharyas to bless us that someday we can develop these qualities and fall into that bracket of becoming Krishna's favorite devotee. Thank you so much. I'll end it here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. We have 6 questions so far.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll summarize. What I understand by your question is your question is how do we understand when it is to be considered that this is what Krishna wants me to do, this is Krishna's arrangement, or when is it that I do make an endeavor to make a conscious change or something. So how do I understand what is Krishna's arrangement? So of course there are many levels to this. One is that you have a spiritual mentor and they can see something which we can't, so that will be helpful. And the other way is if you don't have a mentor around and you don't have that access where you can just about keep asking things, then what you can do is you can just have a measuring instrument, like, if I'm doing this or making this decision in my life, is it bringing me closer to Krishna? Or like something like you gave me an example, if somebody has a better opportunity in job and they want to move on, so then you just gauge its advantages and disadvantages. So if I'm shifting my job, so is it bringing me closer to Krishna, bringing me closer to my service, making my life more conducive for Krishna consciousness, then I take it. If it's not, then I don't take it. So like that is one simple way of doing it. And the other way is if certain things are a little more complicated, try and take a third person help, which is always helpful. And when I said this, that we are satisfied with Krishna's arrangement, does not mean that we don't do or we don't take an action, because Krishna has also given us intelligence. This is something like, I'm just reminded of this story of this boy who had a deal with Krishna. He had done some tapasya and Krishna had come in front of him and Krishna had promised him that I'll always take care of you. You know that story? And then this boy, and then there is flood in the village. And then this, all the headmen of the village, they tell the boy, okay, let's move to the next village. It looks like this village is going to be inundated with water. And he says, no, you don't worry, you get going. Krishna is going to come and help me. And then, as the water keep filling, and there's somebody who comes in a boat and, and says, hey, come on, boy, give me hand. And he says, no, you get going. Krishna is going to come and help me. And then finally, when he's neck deep and a helicopter comes and says, come on, give me your hand. And he's like, no, get going. Krishna is going to come and help me. And then finally he dies. And then when he goes back, to Krishna, and he asks him, oh, you said you're going to help me. And Krishna said, well, I did help. I came 3 times in the form of the headman, the boatman, the pilot, but you never took my help. So this is something like that. So Krishna has given us intelligence. So definitely we can make positive, proper decisions in our life. Wherever we see there has to be a change made, and we move on. There is nothing wrong in being active and taking proper actions. But after you have done whatever needs to be done, and then you see that it's not in your hand, so then you understand, okay, it's not in my hand. That means maybe this is how Krishna wants it to be. Because there are only 2 things work. Either our plan works or Krishna's plan works. So we try our plan, it doesn't work. So now we know, okay, fine, this is what Krishna wants it to be like. So that's about it. So of course, I'm putting it very simply. But then when you come to objective, like certain, situations, they're always good to even take a third party help, some senior Vaishnava or some devotees that you are associating with, because sometimes Krishna will guide you as Paramatma from your heart. Sometimes he'll guide you in the form of Guru, and sometimes he also guides you in the form of the devotees that you associate. Sometimes, just what needs to be said or done, he will just pass on that message through somebody in your life. So like that, we just need to keep our hearts and eyes and ears open, because Krishna is all the time on that job, trying to help us in some or the other way. So if we are open and positive, it will happen. We don't make an over endeavor of things, and we always keep gauging. Whatever I'm doing, is it bringing me closer to Krishna or away from Krishna? And that's how all my decisions will be primarily based on. This is what is coming in my mind right now. I just hope it helps you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. I have one follow-up question. You have mentioned about the stages of mind. And I tried to look up Mataji on YouTube, but I didn't find a class for you.
What is that? On the layers of mind?
Like layers of mind. It's better to forgive and forget before you sleep, because otherwise it goes into your mind, into your consciousness as samskara. So what are the
Okay, I spoke about these layers of mind in my class, Ideal Grihastha Life, which I gave for Richmond devotees. So, but I wouldn't know which part. I think I gave them 2 episodes on Ideal Grihastha Life in English for Richmond devotees. Maybe you'll need to go through both the 2 episodes. I'm sure you'll get it somewhere, because there I had spoken about this 7 layers of mind.
Sure. Thank you so much.
It's a big topic. Otherwise, I would have explained it to you.
No, thank you.
Next question is from Jitesh Agarwal. He's asking about why do we say Krishna has the Supreme Personality?
Why not we stick to the question connected to today's class? Then it will be more. These are all like, maybe they can just, yeah.
Next is Naruni Radha Mataji is asking, how can we be tolerant with our kids? We need to correct them.
Okay. Don't be tolerant to your kids. That's a nice question. How can we be tolerant towards our kids? No, as a guru, as a parent, we have that right. We don't have to be tolerant, because we want to mold them. So we're doing a role of a sculptor. A sculptor, he has to hit the sculptor, what he's making, and then it comes to a proper shape. So while dealing with our kids, just like a guru, when dealing with the disciple, will not tolerate his disciple. Similarly, the parents don't tolerate the children, and because basically it's the intention. What's your intention, I was reading the other day something very interesting. Who asked me this question? Somebody said, who was asking me? Some class I was giving somewhere, and they asked me this question. They said, Priyavrata Maharaj. They said, Narad Muni told Priyavrata Maharaj, don't become a grihastha. Okay. And Swayambhu Manu said, become a grihastha. Narad Muni is a Mahajan. Swayambhu Muni is a Mahajan. So which Mahajan to listen is so confusing. You'll be offending one Mahajan if you don't listen to the other Mahajan. And then Brahma comes and he supports Swayambhu Manu, he doesn't support Narad. So doesn't Narad Muni feel bad that how come Swayambhu Manu is not how come Brahma is not supporting me, he's supporting Swayambhu Manu. So why so much, apparently different instructions by different Mahajan, So we were discussing this point, and then we were trying to analyze that it's not about Mahajans. Like Prabhupada made this point, that when Prabhupada was asked, he made this point. He said it's not about different people getting different Mahajans giving different instruction. It's about their intention. Narad Muni has the intention that Priyavrata Maharaj should please Krishna. Swayambhu Manu has an intention that Priyavrata Maharaj should please Krishna. Narad Muni wants that he should please Krishna by becoming a brahmachari. Swayambhu Manu feels he should please Krishna by becoming a righteous king and ruling citizens. So like that, everybody, the intention is to please Krishna. So that is why there is no apparently contradiction between the instructions by different Mahajans. And I thought that was a beautiful answer. So what's our intention? So we're talking about tolerance. So we want to tolerate because we want to purify our consciousness and we want to give benefit of doubt to other devotees. We want to become humble. So we tolerate other devotees. But when it comes to the question of our children, here our intention is that they should also become good devotees. They should be on the right path. And for that, apparently we show intolerance by correcting them, which is basically our intention is to help them in their journey of Krishna consciousness. So there is no contradiction.
Prabhu, there are other devotees in line. If you don't mind, please. Just wait, please.
Okay, very interesting question. So when somebody criticizes us, then we feel bad, and if we tolerate, the devotee again criticizes us, and that way we may get into depression, that am I really like that? Why I'm being criticized? So I understand this is a very practical situation, and I get a lot of mails regarding this also. So no, we should not get depressed. That is why I think last time also I was talking about it. Our association are of different kinds. So in our spiritual life, if we want to blossom and we want to grow, we should have three kinds of relationships. One is, you have a relationship with some devotee, whether it can be your mentor or some co-devotee, whose association brightens you, whose association blossoms you, whose association blossoms your consciousness, where there is a honest interaction, love, give, take, care, where you share, and then that devotee says, no, I think you cooked well, don't feel so bad about it. I think your garland was beautiful. I think you spoke well. I think something like that, who gives you honest feedback. So you have that loving relationship with that devotee. And then there is some devotees with whom you have working relation, means you can't escape their association because you have to work with them. So you have that. And then of course there are some devotees in our life who are like those mines, you walk in the mine, it's so dangerous. Every step you put, don't know when it's going to blast, So like that we have different kind of association, but every association purifies and nourishes and makes us stronger, and we grow by every kind of association. But the only thing is, if you have one and only association with that mind kind of devotee, who is like a mind, then you are in trouble, because you'll get depressed. That's why Rupa Goswami, what he says in the Nectar of Instruction, that you should have, good association with devotees. You love, give and take, share your mind. So like that, if this is a problem you are facing, where you are in association with a negative devotee who is always talking negative about you, go ahead and get association of some positive devotee so that you can balance it in your life properly, Have somebody who is positive, whose association blossoms you, makes you feel happy, gives you honest feedback. So it's very important, as a devotee. Otherwise, you'll get depressed. It's human. It's human. If you're 10 times told the same thing, you are out to start believing, yeah, maybe I'm like that. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I'm like that, right? So try and get different kinds of association. Every association will help you. This mind-like devotee will also help you because your tolerance will increase, and the other devotees will also help you because your positivity will increase, your hope will increase, you'll become more enthusiastic. No, I think I can do it like that. So every kind of association will nourish you.
Okay, well, the next question is Radhika Pichori Mataji, you're still there?
Krishna Mataji, Dana Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada and Gurudev. It's a wonderful class for Mataji. But my question is not related to this session. So can I ask or can I speak?
If it's something which I can answer quickly, I'd like to answer, yeah.
Okay, one of your lecture you said like Govindam Bhaja Modamade in that regard. So you said we read scriptures. So is it will it help in any way in the last moment? In our last moment, we read so many shastras. So why do we read shastras and taking bhakti shastras and courses and all? So is any help? Those are giving any help to our last moment or not?
Okay, Mataji. So sometimes whatever you... Yeah, so I understand your question. You are saying that does reading Shastra will help at our last moment or not? Is it useful or not? Now, sometimes my shorter clips which have been taken, they may be taken, in between the lecture. So there must be something I was telling before that, and there's something which I'm speaking after that. But the devotees who make the clip, they're just taking that 2 minutes of a short clip. So sometimes devotees may apparently take out a meaning which I may not be trying to indicate. So the whole lecture should be heard, then it will give you a proper context in what context I am talking. And regarding the latest clip which you're talking about, Bhaja Govindam, where I was talking about Panani, how he was a grammar teacher, and how Shankaracharya says that at the end moment of your life, the grammar's knowledge is not going to help you. So the point I was trying to make is simply the knowledge of grammar will not help you. See, there is a difference between knowledge and wisdom. So knowledge is okay. I know Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then what am I doing about it is important. I know Krishna is God. So this is my... So, like you have the steps. Sambandha, Abhidaya, Prayojana. I know Krishna is God. I know my Sambandha and I work according to it. And that is how I reach my goal. But if somebody is just stuck at that, okay, they know a lot of things and they can quote from here and there. But if they're not applying in their life, then what way it will help? Now again, somebody may argue, but at least if you know something about Krishna some way or the other, it helps. So now what we are talking here about is not knowing about Krishna. What we are basically talking is about dry Vedic knowledge or some dry scriptural knowledge, like in many places in Srimad Bhagavatam also it is quoted that if whatever we are doing, whether Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, whatever he's doing, if it's not connected to Krishna and if it's not bringing you closer to Krishna, it is Shama Eva Hi Kevalam. So even if somebody is reading a lot of scripture, but if that is not invoking him love for Krishna, then what is the use? Is what I was trying to make a point in that particular context, is that the whole purpose, the whole goal of doing Bhakti Shastri or this is to give us a clearer understanding that this is what is supposed to be the goal of my life. Give us wisdom. Give us more wisdom. That is what I was trying to say, Mataji. I just hope it helps you.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Hari Guru.
Next is Kamadas.
Okay, what I can hear from your question is, what if the parents criticize us and they don't encourage us in our spiritual work, so what to do? Okay, now this is a very big topic in itself. I don't know how much justice I can do in 1 or 2 lines, Kanha Prabhu. But my simple advice would be that, it's very important at the same time to respect the parents, because they're also your well-wisher. So you'll have to be very diplomatic about it. So you do your Krishna conscious activity. At the same time, you make sure that you don't hurt them. And there are many ways to go about it, because nobody can stop your chanting. So if practically you're not able to come out of the house, or if they are restricting, at least you can chant at home. And slowly, only by pleasing them, only by slowly pleasing them. See, it's like a balance. You have to maintain a fine balance. If you are in a male body, the parents will expect that you study well and get a proper job and get a, so you have to manage both sides. You study well, then they can't complain. It's like that, it's like give and take. If you don't study well and if you are all the time chanting and all, then they may feel unhappy about it. They may think, what is his future? So as parents, they're always thinking about your betterment. So don't take it like they're criticizing you or something like that. They are also your well-wisher. So you have to go step by step. So you please them. So if they're asking you to study well or asking you to study also, at the same time, slowly it's a fine balance, and slowly you put out your thinking, okay, I got good marks, but now I want to go to the temple on Sunday. I'll do this, but then I want that, and like that. See, nowadays children are so badmash, they do all kinds of conditions with parents to get a smartphone, this phone, that phone. So I'm sure you can make some contract, some agreement for your Krishna conscious activities also. You can come up with something like that, I'll try to top, but this is what I want, this one, and like that slowly. I remember one of my summer camp girl, I think she wanted to donate something for the temple. At the end of our summer camp, she was so inspired by the temple. She was a little girl, I think 9th class or 10th class. So I never knew that. After that, I came to know, after 1 year, her parents came and gave some donation. Then they said, that our girl, she made a contract. She said, if I top my school, the only gift I want is that you become a life member of ISKCON Vizag. And my daughter did it, and here we are, Mataji, with the check. And I thought, wow, that was something, So like that, she did it so nicely, So like that, if you really love Krishna and you want to go in that direction, of course, this is such a long topic. Of course, there's something like you also pray to Krishna in your heart, that Krishna, please allow me to serve you. And outward, see, bhakti is inner remembrance and outer action. So if outer action is not possible as of now, start with inner remembrance, right? If the lights are off, as of now, work with your cell phone torch, That's it. As of now, situation is not conducive. So just like I said, bloom where you are planted. Whatever situation you are now, see what you can do best in that situation. And then go one step and then go one step. And it'll happen. It'll happen. Don't worry so much. Don't hurry so much. Be patient, it'll happen. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhaischa kripa sindhubeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, devotees.
Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna